Right, so here we go with Cass's morning feeding. We've got 2 syringes of blended food that are warming up in warm water. The food we use is the Purina EN. It's highly digestible and extremely highly nutritious. We also sometimes use the Hills AD. The EN is actually easier to blend up, so we tend to use that more often than not. He gets about 80 to 90 mils of food in his morning feed. He then gets his drugs. He gets a capsule of the Losac, which is his antacid, to stop the acid reflux which has scarred his throat. He gets 0.2 of a ml of cisapride, which is a motility enhancer, helps his stomach work. We're also trialling at the moment gabapentin, 0.8 of a ml of this. This is supposed to block the signals to the damaged nerve endings in his neck, which are causing him to scratch so very badly at his neck tube. He has a small abscess in his neck at the moment, so he's also on an antibiotic, which is crushed up and added to the tubes as well. Once that food is warmed up in the warm water, we'll add the drugs to the food, and then we'll go and find a hungry cat. That food's nicely warmed through now, so what we need to do is add all the drugs. Cisapride first, just squirt them into the top of the feeding syringe. Gabapentin, antibiotics, a little bit of water added to the antibiotic. Souped up into a small syringe. And then added to the big syringe. And then last of all, the little Losac balls. Have to be fairly careful with these because they tend to bounce everywhere all over the kitchen when you drop them, which happens fairly regularly. And that's them. Give the syringe a small shake just to move the wee balls away from the top of the syringe. Otherwise they tend to clog the tube up a little bit. As much air out of that as we can. Oops. Should we drop water? It's fine. So there we have 80 mils of food. And he gets about 20 to 30 mils of warm water down the tube after each feed, just to flush the tube out and to make sure he's not at all dehydrated, as he's nil by mouth, so he can't even drink. Okay, so here we have Cassius and feeding. Alright, I'm going to just make sure that that's in the right place before we start. Cass is normally fairly cooperative. Ember, get out of the way, she's not. Even though he is nil by mouth, we can let him lick at the ends of the syringes just to get the taste of the food and to keep him sort of occupied while we're feeding. The first thing we do is connect up his stomach port. Spin you around this way so the camera can see Cass. And his tube just plugs in. And there he is, all ready to go. I'll put the drugs in first, so you can see the drugs in the end of the syringe there. No, that's not for you, darling. Try not to send too much air down his tube, because it makes him bark, that's all. And away we go. We can feed Cass relatively quickly. It doesn't make much of a difference to him. His stomach is not damaged in any way. It's pinned in place, so he can take the food quite quickly. Takes a few minutes, that's all. Good boy. Good boy. As you can see, he's pretty cooperative. He does just sit here most of the time. It is much easier when there's two of us here to do this, because one of us can sit in front of Cass and distract him with the empty syringe while the other person is filling him full of food. So that's all the food in. As you can see, that took about a minute and a half. And then you can see as the water goes down the tube, pushes all the food away in front of it, and we just make sure that the tube's completely clear and that he gets about his 20 mils. And that's it. Unplug him. The little tube has a wee mark on it that you match up with the mark on his port. Plug him back in, and that's him all fed. Good boy. Off you go.